Imagine your college application landing in the lap of the admissions committee at your dream school. It's the end of a long day, and the eyes that gaze upon your application have already scanned through dozens since lunch. They glimpse at your transcripts and your test scores, they skim through a recommendation or two. You're confident that you've done everything in your power to guarantee that you'll get accepted, but really, how do you ensure that a tired admissions committee officer is interested and enthusiastic about your application when it might arrive before them at 4:55 p.m. on a Friday? Well, your college essay is really the chance to set yourself apart from the hundreds of applications who will have their academic portfolios reviewed and they'll be similar to yours. A lot of things might be similar, but your essay could provide insight into who you are as a person, conveying your unique personality and reflecting what really makes you tick. With so much writing on the essay, though, many hopeful applicants suddenly draw a blank. They don't know how to write it. So how do you overcome writer's block and come up with a college essay topic that will really wow admissions officers? Well, in this video, we're going to outline our 3 favorite college essay brainstorming approaches that are sure to get you on the right track and writing a stellar essay. Let's hop into number 1, which is make a list of opinions that you firmly hold and explain them. This exercise requires you to think about aspects of your identity that you've actively chosen. So essentially in this exercise, you need to consider what aspects of your identity you're most proud of. These are those opinions that you hold because you chose to believe in something specific of your own accord. This is an important brainstorming exercise because at its core, it's really about passion. And ultimately, you want your personal statement to be about something that you're passionate about, that defines you, that gets you excited, and that can exhibit your ability to think and speak for yourself. So before you start writing, you can make a list of the things that you care about the very most and go ahead and reflect on why you feel that way about them. Get really deep. This list can include everything from your commitment to environmental activism to your stance on McDonald's decision to serve breakfast all day. It can be really anything. The point of this exercise is that there's no right or wrong way of going about the essay. There's no topic that's more worthwhile than any other topic, so long as you're truly, genuinely passionate about it and it's an opinion that you strongly hold. Number 2, make a list of your character flaws. While the ultimate goal of the personal essay is to present yourself in as positive a light as possible, obviously, the challenge is to do so in a way that's still realistic and genuine. So exercise number 1 got you thinking about the aspects of yourself that you're most proud of. In this exercise, you can consider the parts of your identity that you've actually struggled to overcome. So to do this, you'll need to do some serious thinking about the character flaws that accompany your best traits. There are 2 main reasons why we suggest that our students address not only their accomplishments, but also their shortcomings. The first reason is quite simple. A personal statement that paints a picture of its writer as totally perfect and without flaws will come across as dishonest and unrealistic. And obviously that's something you want to avoid at all costs in your application. Second, and even more important, if you're able to write a personal statement that acknowledges your flaws and recognizes that you are an imperfect person, it will reflect positively on you and vouch for your maturity. If it feels counterintuitive or scary to dwell on anything other than your successes, you really don't need to fret. That's the expected reaction to this advice that we're giving. But rest assured that if done correctly, acknowledging that you're not perfect can add a layer of genuineness to any personal essay. So how should you actually discuss your character flaws? There are several ways to go about it. One way is to discuss a character flaw that you've always struggled with and worked to improve on throughout your whole entire life. In this scenario, discussing flaws can help to introduce a discussion about growth or maturation and give you a really nice narrative arc of where you've come from and who you are now. Another way to discuss your character flaws is to acknowledge how certain struggles or personal shortcomings have shaped your identity, allowing you to go into more detail about the ways in which you were able to better yourself by identifying and working on a flaw. And of course, that's a really mature thing to do. It demonstrates good qualities to the admissions committee. The thinking here is that students have no difficulty remembering all of their accomplishments, productive experiences, and glowing achievements that they want to include in their personal statements. After all, it's frankly pretty easy to write about those kind of things and the successes you've had. It's much harder to address the aspects of yourself that haven't always made you proud and to reflect really genuinely about how those things have shaped your life. Exercise 3, make a list of anecdotes, childhood memories, or stories about yourself that stand out. Then choose one and make it your vehicle. Our last brainstorming exercise searches for a vehicle, an anecdote that you can use to frame your entire personal statement. You can use anecdotes in your personal statement in a wide number of ways. Some students choose to open their essay with an anecdote, others choose to close their essay with an anecdote, and still others will use 2 or 3 anecdotes in order to add color or rhetorical flair to the points that they're trying to make. But the best type of anecdotes are the ones that lend additional insight into your character. If you haven't noticed, additional insight into your character is a bit of a theme of this video. If you're wondering what the point is of using an anecdote, like why use one at all when I could just save words and talk about myself more, well, it's useful to understand why telling a story or two actually does make your personal statement stronger. Basically, you want your personal statement to reveal something about your character or personality that is unique and appealing. When the admissions committee reads your essay, they aren't just looking to learn more about you, they're looking to learn something unique or special about you because they are looking for ways to differentiate you from other applicants. They want evidence that you would be a valuable and, once again, unique addition to their community. So that's really where anecdotes come in. They help to inspire a conversation about your personality, your identity, your character, while also giving you something concrete to talk about in the essay, which is always helpful. So that's why we call it a vehicle. It can exist on its own, but it carries important information inside it that's about you, too. Knowing the purpose of anecdotes should make it a little easier to brainstorm them. The anecdote that you choose to frame your personal statement should carry messages about you, the writer. If you're not sure yet what to write about in your personal statement, you can start brainstorming anecdotes from your childhood. So really go way back and start at the beginning. They could be favorite family stories, they could be fond memories, they could be hilarious vacation mishaps, or particularly tender moments that you've shared with one of your friends or family members. Do your parents have favorite stories to tell about you, the ones that they embarrass you with when you're with your friends? Well, you can add those onto your list as well. They might be a useful tool. Once you have a collection of stories to work with, you might begin to see certain patterns forming. Perhaps all of your favorite stories take place in the same setting, whether a vacation home that meant a lot to you or the classroom of your favorite teacher. Maybe you realize that all of your fondest memories involve a certain activity or hobby of yours, playing soccer or participating in debate. You may notice that one story from your childhood mirrors or foreshadows a like or dislike or accomplishment that would come to fruition much later in your life. It's hard to imagine all of the personal statements and possible essay ideas that could come out of this brainstorming session, but this exercise will definitely help you come up with concrete points to make about yourself and, more importantly, provide you with a tangible way to actually show those things in the form of an essay. Hopefully, by the time you complete these 3 brainstorming exercises, your creative juices will be flowing and you'll have a good idea where to take your college essay. If not, you might find a little bit more specific direction about brainstorming your essay in our blog, in our series of essay how-to guides, or in our essay tips and FAQ section. Remember that you can find us online at blog.collegemind.com, and also remember to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on the latest videos. Good luck with writing your college essay.